Hi, I'm going to start my morning practice session, and I wanted to make a video on how my practice routine is like. I've been learning Badinari by Bach for a few months now. It's one of the harder pieces that I've learned to play, and the goal here is to actually make this song error free. So being able to play this without mistakes and being able to play it faster is what I'm trying to get at. And in order to do that, I'll have to practice that at a slower speed and make sure that I'm relaxed and the song is something that becomes very, very familiar for me. So I'll be repeating the song 10 times over, and the goal is to make these repetitions without mistakes. And mistakes are gonna happen here and there, so I'm not gonna stop my repetitions whenever the mistake happens, and I'll try to play it from start to finish. But I'll also have to make sure that the mistakes don't happen at the same spot over and over again. If that happens, I'll have to go back and fix whatever is happening. And I also need to play it at a speed so that I don't have to stop at any point in order to think about what's going to happen, and I should always be ready for what's coming out next. So I'm going to play this 10 times over, and let's see if I could play the entire song without any mistakes in any of these repetitions. So here's the first time over. So I picked the wrong register. So when I record it on my phone, I play the bass an octave higher because if I play the lower register, it doesn't sound as good. It sounds a little muddy. That was a mistake. I kind of got derailed at that point, and I'm not able to continue because my finger positions changed. So I'm gonna start over. So I'm playing this at a speed that is much slower than the fastest speed that I can play with mistakes. So I'm trying to go really, really slow so that I have the time to think and prepare for what's coming up next. that's the end of the first repetition. I did make a few mistakes. There was one stop where I had to think about where I was finding the note, the 2 octave jump. So that is actually the hardest part of the song, where I have to do that 2 octave jump. I'm playing that much better than what I used to play a few weeks before. It's getting more and more familiar, and that's because I've been practicing very, very slowly. So I'm gonna do more repetitions and hopefully try to play it as good as the first repetition, or maybe even better. The key here is to not to go too fast too soon, and get as many repetitions as possible without mistakes in there. So here's number 2. That was okay. I also had a spot at which I had to practically stop and reset. So that wasn't good. So I think I'll have to go a little bit slower so that I can reduce the number of mistakes. So here's number 3. But I'm glad that the mistakes didn't happen at the same spot that they happened during repetition 1. So I messed up at 2 different spots, so it's not like I'm doing the same mistake over and over again. So here's number 3. So this was definitely better than the first two repetitions. There was just that one section where it wasn't very. So that part. So I'll have to focus on that one the next time. Going a little bit slower definitely helped. It helped my brain stay ahead of what was going to happen next. So this is something that I definitely recommend anyone when they're practicing. If it feels harder, just slow down. You can always slow down more than what you did last time, and do it at a speed so that your brain has enough time to think about what finger we're going to use, whether we're going to stretch somewhere or not, and the timing of it, and everything, and also the bellows direction changes. So if you had noticed, you'd see that I'm changing my bellows at the exact same spots during each repetition, and I'm making that as consistent as possible, and that's helping me a great deal to play the song relaxed and more consistent. So I'm going to try to go at the same speed and try to play this as good as last time, and hopefully better. So this is repetition number 4. The false start, let's go. That was good. I liked it. And let's keep going for repetition number 5. And I should be very careful on how I dial up the speed here. And I don't ever want to consciously dial up the speed. I want the build up in the speed to happen when I naturally build more familiarity with the song, that I don't even know that I'm playing it a little bit faster, and I want it to happen gradually so that it's sustainable. So the last time I tried to build up speed consciously, so what I was trying to do was to go faster every day, and then that speed was not sustainable, and I think it was at some point my ego got too big that I had to play it faster than the previous day, and I didn't want to slow down. So that speed up was not built in a sustainable way, and I couldn't keep going, and too many mistakes started to get into the song. So I'm being very careful here not to play it faster. So what we are focusing here is to play it correct and build the speed in a sustainable way that I'd be able to play it correctly when I play faster. So this is repetition number 5. That wasn't as good as repetition number 4. So I don't know what happened. So I did play it slower. Maybe I didn't focus enough. So I'll have to try this again. Repetition number 6. Let's see how this one goes. was better than repetition number 5. There were a couple of small mistakes here and there, but I'm happy with how this goes. So, got 4 more. This is number 7. I like this one. This one was definitely an improvement over repetition number 6. There was a mistake towards the beginning of the song, but that's something that I usually play right, and I can ignore that as a random error. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But when you're playing like a song that is harder for the level that you're in, so this one is definitely something that is harder for the level that I usually play. So when you play something like this, and that's like a long phrase, it's not just one hard segment, the odds of getting a mistake somewhere are always very high. It doesn't have to happen at the same spot all the time, but it does happen. And the key thing here is that you don't make that mistake at the same spot over and over again. The reason for that is that whenever you're doing repetitions, you're learning something and you're building muscle memory in your fingers. And if you're playing the same mistake over and over again, you're actually learning the mistake. And that way you will be playing it the same way every single time. And then when you perform, you have that mistake in your performance that you've actually learned. And it'll be harder to go back and unlearn it and fix it. So I have this problem in a lot of songs that I've learned where I didn't really put in the attention to fix that one tiny mistake that happens at the same spot. So I don't want to do that same mistake for this song. So that's why I'm paying extra attention to this one and all of the other songs that I'm going to be learning next. So we have 3 more repetitions to finish up today's practice routine for Batineri. This is number 8. Okay, so I think that I like that repetition the best out of all the 8 that I've played so far. And we have 2 more I want to keep my focus on and finish strong with the last 2 repetitions. So. That one was quite bad. I had like maybe 3 or 4 major mistakes in there. So I don't know why that happened, but those are places that I usually don't make a mistake. And interestingly enough, this was the first time I made a mistake while jumping that twice double octave. That happened during repetition 1, first time since repetition 1 that I made that mistake. So which means that I played it right for 8 times or 7 times straight, and that is quite reassuring. I've got one more repetition, so let me see if I can make this the best repetition. Yeah, it was going on pretty good until the second time over on that second half. And I'm quite happy with how today's practice went. I got in like 10 repetitions, and I was not making mistakes at the same spot over and over again. So it was useful in building my muscle memory, and I also played it slow enough so that I'm able to think about what's happening. So if I think about all of the mistakes that happened, so it's also important to like think back and look at why your mistakes happened, and also make some adjustments and increased attention to those spots so that those mistakes don't happen again. So if I have to list out the mistakes that happened during my practice session, I was sometimes hitting double notes, which is because I'm trying to not look at the keyboard at all. In most times, and sometimes I just have to glance because I do the jumps, and at most times I try to do the jumps without looking as well. So sometimes I just end up between two notes and I hit double notes. So that's something that I have to be more mindful of. But I think with more practice, that's just gonna go away. And the second thing is that sometimes I felt like I just lost focus. With more and more muscle memory kicking in, my hands were just doing their thing, and my mind just kept wandering off, thinking about something else, and then when I reach a spot where I have to actually think about what's going on, I was completely lost, and I had to just stop and then try to figure out where I am and what I have to do next. So that thing, I'm gonna keep that in my mind next time. So I have to also follow what's going on in the song with my mind without losing focus. And the next thing was that sometimes I didn't do the right finger preparations, and I ended up with the wrong finger at the note, and I am no longer able to play the next note. So I'll have to like stop and fix that. So pay extra attention to those spots, and I hope tomorrow's practice will give me that elusive repetition with zero mistakes, which I haven't been able to do until now. There'll always be like a small mistake here and there, and but I am investing quite a bit of time and energy into learning this song, and I'm committed to doing it the right way. So hopefully sooner rather than later, I'll have that repetition with zero mistakes, and then I'll have entire day of repetitions without mistakes, and then I'll be able to speed it up to perform the way it should be performed. And this song, every time I listened to this song, which is originally written for the flute, they play it really, really fast. The entire song is performed in like 1 minute and 15 seconds. That is incredibly fast. They go at a speed like, and they go like maybe 40% faster than what I played, and it's incredibly fast, and I'll be super thrilled to play it anything closer to that someday. So I'm still working on it, but I just wanted to make this video so that anyone who's learning a song could get an insight on how I learn songs, and maybe you have certain techniques that are better than what I use, and if you have like any suggestions for me that I can incorporate into my practice sessions, please leave a comment, and hopefully this helps you in some way in conquering harder songs. And so the goal here is to get practice time without any frustration, and then gradually build up the proficiency that you have in that song. I've employed this method for a lot of harder songs in the past, and I've been satisfied with the way that those songs turned out, and how they are now part of my performance repertoire for today. So hopefully this helps you, and sometime later I'll see you with another practice session video where I can play this song better than what I'm doing today. Until then, bye-bye.